What's going on, everyone? This is Gaffney for the United Devils, and Manchester United have just drew 0-0 at home in the Premier League to Manchester City. Now, in terms of the straight result, the fixtures, a draw to City is never the worst. It doesn't feel like a loss, like a draw to, a lower team does, which is a big dropping of points. We're still within a pretty much, a close distance to the top of the league, and especially to top four. So, it's not the end of the world, but I probably sound quite flat right now because it was a very boring game. I was tempted to just go on my phone for the whole of, particularly the second half. It was very boring, and it's one of those. It doesn't. There's no happiness after the result, but there's no anger or frustration or sadness because it wasn't a particularly bad result. You're going to see through the ratings that I have that they're all pretty flat. No great ratings, no awful ratings, because that's just what the type of game it was. So I'm going to get straight into the ratings nonetheless. David De Gea, 6.5, got a clean sheet. Obviously no big errors, and he had a decent game, just above average because he's got that clean sheet. I'd give him a 6.5. Wan-Bissaka, 5.5. He just doesn't offer enough creativity going forward. Maybe that's because of his, the duties that Ollie gets him to do defensively, but he doesn't offer enough going forward, and we've been saying this for ages. His crossing's poor, and when he seems to dribble, it just doesn't look right. Just as a player on the ball in general, he doesn't look great, but he's still a good right back. But, a game like today could have just done with a bit of magic, like a great ball from the right or something, and obviously he couldn't provide it, so I'd give Wan-Bissaka a 5.5. And then Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire, I'd give 6.5 each. Pretty good game from them, but they, City weren't looking the most dangerous. So, yeah, but, a pretty good game for them, to be fair. But they're still not the defensive partnership going forward, I think we can all agree on. Luke Shaw, I think, was our best player today. Give him a 7. It's his second game back from injury after the unfortunate loss to Leipzig. Probably our best player today, defended well. And he did more than definitely Wan-Bissaka going forward. McTominay, I'd give a 5. And Fred a 6. Look, McTominay's just, when is Ollie going to actually drop McTominay? And how are we playing players like Fred and McTominay, and even Pogba giving out what he's come out and said, over someone like Donny van der Beek? Is just beyond me. We're never going to be creative in midfield and create chances and see some nice play with McTominay and Fred in midfield. It's a ugly, sort of centre mid pairing. And I don't know why Ollie seems to like it so much, because there's such a lack of creativity and, nice passing and nice football in general. But Fred, he does always offer more. And Fred, I'm happy with the start, but, keeps on McTominay. As I said, it's beyond me, so I'll give McTominay a 5 and Fred a 6. Pogba, I would give a 6. An okay game, but there was nothing great from him. I wouldn't have started him. I probably would have played Matic instead of McTominay and Van der Beek instead of Pogba. And it's hard to feel love and like a player like that so much when, what's happened with his agent and what's being said and whatnot. So for me, that's the rating for Pogba. Bruno Fernandes, 5.5. A bad game for Bruno. There was still glimpses of him showing how good he was, but if I'm doing this off his standards and what I've seen he can do, it's got to be a 5.5. We needed some of his, his magic today, whether it's a long range shot, an amazing pass or free kick. We could have done with that from Bruno today, but he didn't have a stinker. It just didn't show anything great. Rashford, I'd give a 4.5, and Greenwood a 5. Look, Rashford's misses were worse, but Greenwood needs to score and put that away. And Rashford as well, it just poor striking partnership. I think that one is. They need to learn to play better together, or they can't play together at all. Greenwood, you know, if he keeps playing like he has been for a while, you know, he shows glimpses of excellence, but the way he's been this season, he's going to slowly, you know, lose all the hype and the ratings that he has if he doesn't, you know, improve his form at the moment. So yeah, I'm not even going to bother giving the subs ratings because it was literally such a just flat game, nothing to it really. The first half was alright, but this was so boring. But you know, coming out of it, it's not. You don't need to feel low about it because a point against City isn't the worst, but a win could have done us a lot better. We need to win more games in the Premier League. Ollie could have, you know, he's probably just saved the job. I think a loss and he might actually get sacked, you know, today. But he came through with a draw. A lot of us were hoping and expecting a win. Didn't happen. And yeah, I think, you know, Pep sort of learned his lesson from how City got on against us in the last 2 games in the league where he beat them, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen anymore. So that's going to do it for this one. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.